summons on them, and yes, you get to twice as much magic. And because they always carry the damage disperse, they don't really need defense. What do you mean with Eternia not explaining things?
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I mean, even the translation was actually coherent, which is something for those times. And the only thing they really changed, in the releases of Eternia was the name of the game. Outside, it's pretty straightforward how it was in Japanese.
Indeed.
Which the name change was absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
And kind of unfortunate considering what the game was actually called that way.
Yeah. I don't think they could have seen it, though, coming. Then again, the actual Tales of Destiny 2 is really stupid, so... not losing much by not having it.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's unfortunate that it had to carry that name.
Yeah, true.
Also, I can't really say that they could not have predicted that. I mean, Destiny 2 was like super early PS2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Eternia was pretty much super late PS1, so they must have known.
Okay. George.
Maybe the game just didn't sell very well in Japan to begin with, so they didn't bother with it and just made an excuse. Was it even all that popular?
Yeah. Crystals, what?
We're talking about Tales of Eternia, right?
Yeah, I don't remember a crystal thing, what?
Maybe he's still talking about Bravely Default because there is a land that's called Eternia.
Oh. Yeah, maybe he is.
Maybe that's that. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean with when it comes to that. It's like Bravely Default has a plot that is nothing more than an excuse to make me fight Durgan and stuff like that. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Because they don't really try to act like it's much more.
Bravely Default.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There we go.
Yeah, and when it comes to the villains, they just make them all evil. Just you know, define characteristic evil. Although they're like over the top, entertaining kind of evil.
Their Team Rocket.
Some of them, in a way.
Good.
Although they don't often return. Well, most of them, like, you just die when you complete. That's one thing I'm really curious about, because I'm doing pretty much every single side quest there is. And the side quests have you kill most of the villains there are, and like they don't actually appear anymore during like plot related scenes. Yeah, well, some of them, particularly the crazy chemist guy. He was pretty damn crazy. What was I talking about?
Something about villains and side quests.
Oh yeah, because like you kill them during side quests, and then they don't actually appear in the story scenes, which I wonder if I didn't do the side quest, would it actually change those scenes, or they just not appear anymore? That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, the Valkyrie lady. It's like it has a lot of things that are just kind of inherently wrong with Japanese style of writing, as in the let's just keep it a secret for the sake of keeping a secret, you know, awkward pauses and a lot of that. Oh, could it be? No, it can't possibly.
I'm sorry, are we talking about Tales of Symphonia?
We're talking about basically any Japanese game that has bad writing.
Got it.
Although Tales of Symphonia just takes the cake and trips over with it and just gets stuck in everything.
Gotcha.
Is the plot and yeah.
Yeah. Shit, I didn't want to do that. Oh well.
Which, to be fair, okay, there is one thing in Tales of Destiny that also kind of pisses me off. When it comes to, and this time around it's not related to the gameplay, it's the main villain, which they reveal like 5 minutes before the end.
Yes.
This, I hate that so much. Oh, this guy wasn't a villain all along. He was just being controlled. Although he clearly remembers everything he has done.
Well, me personally, when it comes to Chronos, I like the idea, but it definitely could have been done a lot better. Like, it would have been better if, like, we had like, at least a cutscene, like, maybe halfway through the game, where, you know, Hugo maybe is, like, talking to the sword, and he's all like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do this, or something, I don't know.
Some sort of indication.
Right.
But no, I was behind it all along. You couldn't... Plot twist.
Yes.
What a twist.
What a twist!
Yeah, they freaking pulled M. Night Shyamalan on us. Before that was even a thing.
I know, right? to end this.
I haven't yet finished Bravely Default, so I don't know all of the details of the story. So I can't really say much about that. Again, as I said, the side quests have a lot more story than the game plot itself.
Indeed.
And probably if I weren't doing all of them, I would be done more the way through. I'm not sure.
I think I should weaken him a little more. Just a tad. Actually,
Yeah,
no,
well
no, I don't need to. Let's go, Shapiro.
Still, none of the shortcomings of Bravely Default can be quite as bad as the
Oh, it's so good.
yeah, that's kind of how Bravely Default goes. It's like it's a thing that we know is going to turn out badly. Let's do it anyway. But yeah, it's like even with shortcomings like that, it's still definitely not worse than the plot in Shining Force Neo.
I don't think much could match up with that.
No. Oh god, there was no editor on board.
No. So, Nico, since your avatar is currently Sosuke in the box, I believe you should have the honors of reading this.
A kiss? As in a mouth-to-mouth? Kurtz, what does cardiopulmonary resuscitation have to do with a moving reunion? I can see how Yu Isami would be moved if he happened to be unconscious and without a breath. Being saved like that would be quite moving.
Sosuke's great.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't get anything.
No.
But yeah, if you don't know, Shining Force Neo is
It's a game about honeydew lattes.
honeydew lattes and freaking herbs.
Yes.
But it's essentially a Diablo. It's essentially it's a weird thing that Shining Force did on the PlayStation 2, where they made 3 Diablo-style games, and actually 1.5 of them are good.
Yes.
Shining Force Neo is actually pretty good as long as you ignore the plot completely.
Skip all the cutscenes.
Skip all of the cutscenes. And apparently Exa is which they released like at the ass end of the PS2. I think PS3 was already out, so pretty much nobody played it. Is apparently also very good. but and also it had much less plot, which in case of if it was being made by the same people, it's a good thing.
In case of terrible plot, break glass. Dink.
Thankfully, all text is skippable, but yeah. And all of the objectives can be summed up as kill everything. And at the very least, because killing everything is pretty fun, it's good. As long as you're a mage, otherwise it's a pain.
Otherwise, oh god.
And it has that absolutely wonderful 2 frames a second action where they just put way too many things, way more things than the PS2 can handle. But at the same time, the whole thing is built around it. Like, it never actually crashes, which is pretty surprising.
Oh look, Seed.
But yeah, the plot of Shining Force Neo is absolute garbage.
Yes, it is. Just like its dialogue is absolutely garbage.
That just combines, and they just pull a lot of shit out of their ass for no goddamn reason. Oh no, it's like at one point they have a flashback to a conversation that never fucking happened.
Yep. They should have went the Wild Arms 1 route and just divulged into absolute insanity.
No, like the Wild Arms 1 is essentially like bullet points. Like the plot is essentially bullet points.
Yes.
It's a thing. We need to climb the tower. Go.
Like, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, and it's like, in case of Wild Arms, it's essentially all of the majiggers that you have essentially dictate where you should go, and it doesn't, and it's not the plot that tells you where you should go. It's the majiggers that you got, and what you're supposed to do is basically go everywhere.